Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the upcoming Ninjago panel that will be taking place at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, which again will be taking place this Thursday, July 25th from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. PDT time. For today's video, my goal is to simply discuss what to expect from this Comic-Con panel. I imagine we will get a bunch of Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 and Season 3 news, but what specifically? Well, let's break it down.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
So we have a couple of things to discuss here. First of all, we are going to be discussing what we know for sure will be touched on at this panel. Then we will get into what is likely to be discussed / revealed. So for the confirmed bits of information that we know for sure will be discussed at this year's panel, we know that the current run of Ninjago Dragons Rising will be discussed in great detail, whatever that means. It could be related to Season 2 Part 2 stuff, could be even Season 3 stuff. More on that here in a second. All we know for sure is that Dragons Rising will be discussed in its current form. Next, we know for sure that there will be a deep dive into the behind-the-scenes aspect of the show, in terms of the writing and the characters themselves. Essentially just showcasing the evolution of Ninjago and how far the series has actually come, and what Dragons Rising is trying to do differently. Again, that more so fits in with the current run of Dragons Rising being discussed, but it was mentioned individually. And finally, we know for sure that this panel will be addressing the 15th anniversary of the Ninjago franchise, which, for those that are keeping track, you would know that the 15th anniversary is not going to happen until 2026, meaning that we are going to be getting hints for content that will be dropping 2 years from now, more like a year and a half. But still, the 15th anniversary of Ninjago will be discussed. In terms of to what regard, we have no idea. All we know for sure is that it will be mentioned and talked about. And that's it for the confirmed information. Now let's get into what is likely to be revealed at this panel, just given how last year's panel for Ninjago Dragons Rising went, which also took place at Comic-Con. And we are right now in a very similar position to where we were when the panel for Season 1 of Dragons Rising was discussed, in the sense that Part 1 of the season was actually out at the time, but Part 2 was not. So with that in mind, and again, considering what was discussed at last year's panel at Comic-Con, I think it's very likely that at this panel for this year, we will see a proper release date addressed and confirmed for Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2, whether that be a release on Netflix or just a general release window. I believe that will be addressed and confirmed. Also, speaking of announcements, I think we could see a proper formal announcement for Season 3 of Dragons Rising. Last year, around this time, Season 2 was officially confirmed. Season 3 is more likely than not going to be confirmed at this year's Comic-Con, even though we already know that Season 3 is coming thanks to some voice actors and some behind-the-scenes stuff that was revealed. But this will more likely than not be when the formal Season 3 announcement will happen. Also, speaking of Season 2 Part 2, we could actually see a trailer for Season 2 Part 2, or at least the first look at Season 2 Part 2, as last year's Comic-Con panel revealed the first trailer for Season 1 Part 2. Now, granted, it took about a month for that trailer to be public after the panel, and we might see something similar happen this year, but I believe we will see some type of trailer or some type of first look at Season 2 Part 2 in video form. Whether or not that will be public is up for debate. And finally here, I believe we will get some fan questions addressed and answered. Usually at these Ninjago panels, they have a segment where fans that are in attendance can ask questions directly to the writers, voice actors, whoever else might be on the panel. So I imagine we will have a bunch of discussions following these questions being answered. And that'll pretty much do it for things that I think are likely to be addressed at this panel. Now, in terms of how this information will get out to the public outside of those in attendance at the panel, well, last year we had several people at the panel constantly relaying what was actually revealed at the panel on various forms of social media, whether it be their websites or their Twitter account. That pretty much happens every year at Comic-Con, no matter what the panel is or who is actually in attendance. So I feel like this year we will see something very similar happen. With that being said though, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. I just wanted to make a very quick video talking about what we as Ninjago Ninjago fans should expect from this upcoming San Diego Comic-Con Ninjago Dragons Rising panel. I, for one, am very excited for Thursday. I think there are a ton of things that will be revealed and addressed. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Leave all of your thoughts, theories, and comments down below, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.